Hi everyone. Today is just going to be a short lecture on the notes that we have uploaded. Okay, I will also share some of the useful videos, YouTube links that relates to SPSS. Anyway, please keep in mind that we did not or we don't restrict from all of you from using any kind of software that you like. Okay, but for this lecture purpose and the class purpose and for tutorial, we will be using SPSS as an example of statistical tool. Okay, you are free to use any software for your group project and also for your studying purpose, right? But SPSS will be introduced to you for your knowledge. Okay, so starting off, let me go make it full screen. Okay, so just a bit of a recap from our previous lecture, right? We looked at some of the key concepts in statistics like population sample, qualitative, quantitative, what is his central tendencies like mean, mode, median, and then we also looked at range, percentile, standard deviation, and so on, right? We also went through hypothesis testing. I gave some examples of what is null hypothesis, what is alternate hypothesis, and also on two-tail and one-tail test. Okay, so today we are going to look at what is SPSS. Maybe some of you already been using it before, all right? If not, okay, SPSS is statistical package for social sciences, all right? That is a name for it, but you can use it for any purpose, right? As long as you want to do statistical analysis, you have collected some data through surveys or anything, you can load it to this tool and then you do the analysis that you require, all right? Okay, but other than this, you also can use, if you're good at R programming or you feel like learning R programming, then why not go and learn R programming? It's quite easy as well. All right, and they have a lot of built-in functions for stats, so you can just call those functions to do your calculations or your analysis. Okay, so SPSS is an IBM product. Okay, it's a software platform offers advanced statistical analysis. Right, it's easy of use, well flexible and scalability and also scalable. Right. Okay, how to use? These are some of the things that we'll go through. It can be used to read data, use data editor, examining how a summary statistics, creating, editing charts and graphs, and then you also can work with the outcome of your analysis, and then so on, right? Okay, reading data is basically like you can actually import data from different formats, right? Text data, which is in text format, or from Microsoft Excel. Okay, some of the basic structure of data files are going is like this. If as you can see here, is written as data view and variable view. So basically, you will have by default these two tabs, right? Data view and variable view. So as what you can see here, this is data view. So in data view, basically these columns are variables, right? So for example, when you put in your survey age, marital status, address, income, whether they are which year they are, first year, second year, or whether they agree or disagree to certain question that you ask, right? All this will become your variable. Okay, what about the rows? Okay, the rows, as you can see, these are just numbered. They are called observations. That means one row basically responds to one person, right? So if you submitted a survey, you got 50 respondents. So you will have basically 50 rows, provided there is no spoiled survey, right? Basically, like all the surveys are okay. All the data can be used. So if you have 50 observations, that means 50 responses. So you will have 50 rows here, right? So each row basically is one observation of one person or whatever subject that you're using. Okay, so this is just an example on how you can import, right? You basically can import Excel data with the import function that you have in the SPSS. Okay, I'll just skip through certain things, all right? So this is very similar, right? Even in sometimes when we want to import files, Excel file um, TXT file to your Excel, sometimes you do the similar thing, right? You have to check on the margins and everything, right? Okay. So as mentioned just now, this is a data view and variable view. So this is variable view, this is data view. So if you can see the data view is like what we saw just now. Each column is a variable, right? And usually it also can refer to one question in your survey, or it can be a new variable that you derive from combining two different questions. For example, when is your start date of job, okay, and then you have another question asking when is your last date of working at the particular place. So maybe you can create a new variable saying that what is the duration of your employment. So basically it's the end date minus the start date, you will get the duration. So you can create that as a variable as well, right? Okay, and then you have another thing called data view. In data view, all the variables that you created in the variable will appear in your data view, and you can start inputting the data in. Okay, for example, you start off with variable view and then you put in all the variables that you're going to use: age, marital, income, maybe the year of study, and the name of the university, address, all become your variable names. Okay, and then you can set their type: numeric, whether it is string, date, right? You can choose from the drop down list that you will have in type, and then you can set the width, and you also can set whether it's a decimal points or not. Once you fill this up, this will appear. You can see all the variables listed up there, right? And then you can start inputting the data once you get your survey forms. Okay, simple as that. Right, so some of the things I will skip here because yeah, like this one. Okay, using the data editor, defining data, you can add variables, you can change the type and format, you can add value labels, adding value labels, which I'll show you later what is it. And also you can handle if there is any missing data, if you want to give a default value if there's a missing data, right? Because you don't want any errors in calculation, so you can actually give a value. Okay, for example, this adding variable labels. So these are variable labels you can add on based on your survey form. You can keep on adding, it's not necessary. You don't have to decide now itself like which one you will use and which you don't use. You can just take the questions from your survey and you can start putting it in. Whether you're using it or not for analysis, that one you can look at it later, right? For now, you can just key in all your variables. Okay, changing variable type and format. As I told you, it can be numeric, comma, you can put a date or dollar or string, right? There are many choices, and you can also set the width and the decimal place here. And then missing values. What do you want to do with missing values? All right. Okay. And then adding value labels. There are certain questions. For example, your scale questions, right? You can set as this, right? Adding value label. That means instead of you, for example, you have disagree, agree, for example, okay, disagree, agree, I don't agree. Sorry. Let us go for a simpler, no, a more convenient one. For example, uh, I can't think of any. Okay, don't agree, quite agree, neutral, agree, uh, extremely agreeing. Okay, something like that. Right? Just say you have 5. Don't tell me every time you want to put in a data. For example, you want to put a data of a student or from your responses here, you want to write agree, disagree, neutral. You don't want to keep on keying in that, right? Sometimes you can, for analysis purpose, you want to calculate the statistics analysis using the values which you assign like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what you can do here. You can actually assign those numbers values with the label. For example, 0 represent don't agree, 1 represent neutral, 2 represent agree, something like that, right? So when you set that here in your data file here, you will be able to drop down and or you can just put in 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 like that. You don't have to keep on typing agree, disagree, neutral, agree, disagree, neutral. You don't have to do that, right? You just choose the number, whether 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, right? And then it's easier also later on when you want to do analysis. So because the value is needed for analysis purpose. Okay, examining summary statistics for individual variables. Okay, make sure you also look into what is the type of data. Is it nominal or ordinal when you are putting into your SPSS, right? whether it's a categorical type of data or right, you have to know your skill. Okay. Anyway, this part I will skip. All right. This because some of it we will do during the tutorial, so you don't have to do it. I mean, I don't have to be explaining it now, right? I'll explaining it in the during tutorial. So some of the things you can do is like chart builder. There are already built in options that you can choose from, like bar graphs, line graphs, area, right? Things like that. And then they will also have a working with output. That means there will be an output screen. For example, when you do a student t-test, you run the experiment and you run the analysis, and you will get at least but results in a form of tables like this, right? For example, in previous classes I was explaining on p-value, right? This is where the p-value will pop up, right? Basically this is where it will come, and you have to look for the p-value from this window, right, which is a viewer. Okay, you also can work with syntax with which have common tasks, if you want to make things easier for you for repeat analysis. Okay, you can explore them. All right, so modifying data values is basically like what I explained just now. You can create variables based on what you have in your survey, or you can combine two or three different categories into one category, right? Create a new variable that is computed in difference. For example, like just now I mentioned about the duration of employment, right? You can take the value that you got, two different values that you got from your survey, and create a new variable. Okay. All right. So you will know this as you have put in your data from your responses into your SPSS, and you realize, oh, maybe I need a new data which you can actually compute from what you already have, right? Like this, you have an option where you can compute variables from other variables. Okay. Okay, I think basically that's all, right? I will be uploading other useful YouTube. You also can try to Google and sorry, we will be also uploading the SPSS manual for your reference, which you can actually use it to practice while at the comfort of your home. All right, and then try the tutorial as well with that manual, or you also can check out some of our YouTubes that we will upload. Okay, so now let me try to go to the SPSS. Okay, I wanted to show you the IBM SPSS. So this is SPSS 26, version 26. So let me just open up. Okay, if I have a specific data, I can open up directly from there. If not, I can just add here, all right, in the variable. Sorry, variable view. This is where you add your variables. Okay, for example, let me open up an existing data. All right. Let me see. It's okay, I can't find existing data. For example, let me put age, type, numeric with no decimal, because I don't want any decimal for my age. Okay, with maybe it's just 3, right? Okay, what else? Marital. It can be a string. Right, so for example, if I put, okay, what label do I want to, I will call it age, right? And then this is marital status. If I go to my data view, now I will be seeing this, right? I'll be seeing, and then I can, as I get responses from the survey, I can add, okay, maybe the first respondent, okay, the age is 21, right? Right, then I can keep on filling up, right? Okay. Okay, now I want to show how I can import an existing Excel file. You go to import data, Excel. Okay, maybe I will. So basically, for example, variable that I have here is the name, the number, okay, the branch, the school name, the email address, right? So currently, because this one I haven't format, this is just importing from my Excel, right? So you can also change these types as you require, right? Your SPSS, right? It's just a trial experimenting, right, with the SPSS. If you like, then you can continue using SPSS. If not, you can go ahead and try any other tools like R programming or Python or anything. Okay, so that's all for this class. I will be uploading on the tutorial for Wednesday as well, maybe latest by tomorrow. And other than that, yep, that's all. If anything, you can always go back to your tutorial lecturer. Okay, thank you.